Hey y'all, welcome back to Chatting with Coach Amy. Today I'm with one of my one-on-one clients who's also in blooms. I turned her on to that. This is Alesha, and I have absolutely adored getting to know you. You have made me a better coach, and I wanted to say that before I started crying or anything like that.
Oh my gosh,
But
girl.
you really have. Not that you have not been a difficult client. You have not. But you
You're
have
starting this really heavy.
you have not been difficult at all. You have been a joy. And
Oh,
don't ever leave me, okay? But
okay.
you ask very good questions and you make me think outside the box for things because that's just who you are. That's just who you are. And I
Oh,
can't wait for everybody to get to know you. So
you're
tell
so sweet.
us a little bit about yourself and we'll just talk about your little trim healthy story. How's that sound?
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
Well, I'm Alesha, and I am 44, and I am married to my husband Ryan. We've been married 18 years, and we have 5 children, 16, 13, 10, 7, and 5, 4 girls and 1 boy. And we homeschool. I'm at home with them. And yeah, that's us. That's me.
Yep. Yep. And we, in our coaching time together, she moved halfway across the country,
Yes,
which was a very big deal.
that was very challenging,
You did it.
to say the least.
You did it.
I did it.
It
Whew.
was very
Yeah, we
impressive.
were just reminiscing. It's been 6 months today, so it's a
Wow,
big deal.
it is. And knowing you, you're going to celebrate it.
Yes, yes. It was a big deal. I didn't know
It
what to
is.
expect, but it is a big deal. It is no small little job that you can just on a whim try.
No, no, thank you.
No.
We
Mm-mm.
haven't moved in like 14 years, and I can't imagine moving with all of my kids. I cannot
Yeah,
imagine.
yeah. It's not to really sign up for. It's not like, let's go do that.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah,
That's too funny.
yeah.
Okay, girl. Well, how did you find me? How'd you find me?
That's a cool story. So there are a couple of families or women that I watch on YouTube to kind of just get some homeschooling support. And about 10 years ago, there was one of the ladies that I follow who did THM. And so I started hearing about it that way. And then I would say last summer, June and July, I was really feeling the tug to do something completely different for myself. And seeing that particular woman lose
You
weight
can
and
talk
really
about her.
share
You can talk about her. That's fine.
her story and
Mhm.
how she went about it, and really like the day, kind of task in and outs of like how she ate and what she did about it and those kinds of things. It was just really real. And years ago with the whole no sugar, I had the whole attitude of like, why would somebody sign up to do that? And, that sounds like torture. When in reality, I went through some really hard, I guess, medical things with autoimmune and fibromyalgia and stuff that I had finally gotten to the point where a lot of the specialists at the time that I was seeing really didn't know what else to tell me other than put me on a bunch of medication. And I was the one that if somebody was going to have side effects, I was it, and I was going to have all of them. And it was just, it was awful. I was in bed a lot for about 2 years, and it was just one of those things where it really wrecked me. I couldn't be the wife or the mother that I had so desperately wanted to be. And the more I tried, the more my body was like, oh, no, you're not. And
Mm.
I just, it was a really low place. Again, God really had to hold me a lot during that time and care for me in a way that He always provides that sweet care and that sweet love. But I was in a really bad place and really desperate. And then my inner toddler came out, and I was like, well, not right now, kind of thing. And I
Yeah.
have that going trend. And then August timeframe, my husband had already left for where we were moving and had been gone for 2 months. And things were just really out of control. We didn't know when we were going to move. We didn't know a lot of family things. And it just was one of those things where I really desperately wanted something to hold on to that I could control, so to speak. And of course, you can't control anything. But at the time, I thought I could. And I was like, I'm just going to do it. And so that's where I found you. And I kind of did the, googly YouTube search, and you came up, and I started watching you, and I was like, oh my gosh, she is so bubbly. She's so full of life. Like, I want something that's full of life and
Okay.
full of energy.
I love that you call me bubbly because lately people have been calling me sassy. But
Oh,
I got plenty of that too.
we'll talk about that later.
It's coming up, Amy. Just hold on.
It's coming up. Buckle up.
Oh my God.
But it was really out of my comfort zone because I didn't know what to expect with coaching. I thought it was all food. I don't know if other ladies can think that too, but I was definitely one of those people that I was like, oh, it's just the food I eat. This is going to be fine, kind of thing. And just kind of back up a little bit, I came from a very restrictive, I was plant-based, I was all, or, just, it was very, very intense. And so I needed a lot of education on truly a different mindset completely with nutrition altogether.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, fine, this is fine. And, part of that coaching was sending you food pictures and stuff. And I remember a couple of days later, you sent me a message, and you were like, why do you keep ordering things or making things that are off plan? And in the moment, God was so clear in his whisper and yell that he was like, don't be hurt. Don't take revenge on this lady. Don't be in a bad place, and I just sat in that. And I remember it froze my muscles and my bones because it was such a simple question, but it was so powerful. And so I sat there dumbfounded, to be honest with you, and really had to look inward of like, why do I keep doing that?
Yeah.
And it was a fear. It was a fear that I couldn't do it, and a fear that, you wouldn't be able to help me in a sense of knowing how to do it. And I'm such a people pleaser that I then didn't want to offend you. And so I had to kind of get past all that and know that also I was paying you for helping me. And that was something that I thought was very important, was very valued in my heart. And so I just leaned all in. And that was bumpy too. That was bumpy too. I learned a lot about myself and how much negativity I spoke of myself. And I think that was what I appreciated most in the very beginning, was you uprooted a lot of that, but we're so full of grace and was just like, no, this is not how you talk about that. This can be different. This can look different. This can sound different. And you really gave me the vocabulary on how to do that, along with the THM knowledge, which I didn't expect at all, but really that is what day to day I hold in my heart, my body constantly.
So that text that I sent you about the off-plan food, I talked to Wes a lot about clients. He don't know who y'all are. I know y'all don't care, but he was like, you need to talk to her. I was like, yeah, because I knew your autoimmune history, and I'm like, she is not doing herself any favors. What the world? And I was like, but she gets it. She's caught on so fast. Like, you caught on so fast to the foundational term healthy mama. Like, you were like, yep, makes sense. Yep. And then it was just, one slip. I don't usually say too much, but it was so, and I'm like, this is not what she wants. And Wes was like, just message her. I waited days, and finally I was like, hey, what are you doing? And
slap.
yeah, like, yeah. But you have not been 100% perfect. No one is.
Right.
But the switch was flipped. And you were like,
that very next day,
boom.
I was just like, okay, well, just try it. And I had honestly had the mentality of, oh, well, she'll tell me to work on just breakfast, or she'll tell me to work on just dinners or whatever, and I'll do it. But then it was just like, well, no, I do know. And by that time, just to back up a little bit, I had already listened to the big, huge audio book And I knew things, but I also didn't think I could withhold that. And so in those moments where you were telling me and reminding me, it was a just a pouring over me of, you've got it, you do remember, you do this. And it was so gentle in the communication of when I would take pictures, you would just gently say, hey, this is actually a crossover because of this, you'll know better next time. Or, hey, instead of adding this, do you enjoy this? Or, whatever. Like, you always had something to come back with to solve something when it wasn't really an issue, but I had the issue thinking it was an issue.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Do y'all see why I love her so much?
No.
You are so coachable. It is so hard for me to do my job when someone isn't coachable. So thank you, ma'am. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So let's bring how your heart and your mind had to connect here when it came to food freedom, because I feel like that was a really huge healing connection. And I know it's still happening. Girl, it's still happening for me.
Very much so.
So
Very
talk
much
about
so.
that a little bit.
I think like a majority of people, we all know that like when you're happy and you want to celebrate something, or you're down in the dumps and you're like, oh, well, I deserve X, Y, and Z. I grew up in that mentality, and I really didn't know the vocabulary on what to do. And so I think if I remember correctly, you just kind of started on the, how are you loving yourself? And, what truth statements are you sharing with yourself? I had no idea what the vocabulary was. Like, I didn't know what a truth statement was. That was very challenging. It is definitely not challenging now, but it was a behavior that I had to mandate to myself. And just grateful that I was aware of it. And so being aware of what my next tasks or my next stressors was something that I struggled with a lot. And I, like you said, I'm still working on it. I thought it was hysterical that you were gonna ruffle my feathers with my coffee.
Boy, did
And it's still changing. I'm stepping down baby steps, but that was just hysterical to me of like, you want me to do what? And of course I went all in because that is my mentality, the all or nothing. But I couldn't do that. And so I backed off. And so I'm just going more gentle with that. But I was one that did, all the sweeteners and like more heavy
Girl,
cream
you
than
still
coffee.
use stevia. I'm like, why do you need 2 stevia in your coffee? But okay, that's fine.
It's good.
It is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. It just makes me laugh.
Right. But yeah, that's funny.
Oh
So
man,
funny.
so good. So can we talk about your progress a little bit?
Sure. And I
Whatever
can bring in my family's progress too,
I
because
would
I'm not
love
doing
for
this
you.
alone.
That
Yes.
would be amazing. So
Sure.
on the Facebook and in the email that you guys hopefully will have access to, I'm gonna have some pictures. So I want y'all to go access those because this girl, Alesha, has changed the way she looks. Like, it is amazing. I showed Wes, we did those that THM had kind of asked for a little bit. I don't know if they're gonna use it or not, but how cool to be asked.
That's okay.
And he was like, who is that? I said, okay, that's my one that moved from here to here. And we did this and we helped with her children. And he was like, Amy. I was like, I know. I said, she's the one that I had to say, why are you ordering off planned food? And so it's you. And it's just amazing because I see your face. Like, I know your face has changed. But when I saw that belly, oh my gracious. Okay, so you're good. You go. I'm gonna shut up. Just get so excited.
It's okay. So I started in September. September the 18th was when my, the text came in the day before from Amy and saying, what are you doing? And so then I switched.
Yeah.
And I personally have lost 40 pounds. My husband has lost 30 pounds. 2 of my daughters do THM with us, and one has lost like 22, 23 pounds, and one has lost 17. And then I have 3 other kiddos that do 100% on plan with us too. And I have one child who medically is very underweight, and she has gained almost 10 pounds.
Oh,
And I was actually sharing that with my breakthrough group this past week because she, and for a little story, she was at the table this past week with our yard work, putting our garden beds in, and she's been ravenous, and she's like staring up or whatever, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" And she's like, "Mom, it's muscle mass. It's muscle mass. You tell Miss Amy I'm building muscle mass."
yes,
And I was
ma'am.
like, "That's right." And so her gaining this week has been a lot more than usual, and she's convinced it's because of Miss Amy's muscle mass that she talks about.
Yes, amen. She can be in my muscle club for sure. I love that.
So
Give that
it's
baby
been a
a
lot
hug.
of fun.
That's so
I
sweet.
will.
So sweet. I'm so
Yeah.
proud of you. You are an
Thank you.
amazing mother. Amazing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's really been important to me. I thought this journey was all about myself. But then when we moved back right before Thanksgiving, I had one daughter jump on, and then right around the first of the year, I had another daughter jump on. And through the grocery shopping and learning a lot more about what items to get for them, it's been a tremendous shift. But to have everybody on board has been really, really, really amazing. And those really foundational things for THM that help so much, I have found with asking questions to really help my children too. They're all at their ideal weight. It's just my husband and I now that are continuing to work on losing. But it feels so much of a win. I can't even tell you that they're learning this now.
Yes,
And I really underestimated the amount of resilience they have. I didn't want to burn them or inconvenience them or, talk about a bunch of stuff that they couldn't relate to, but we've just adopted this together. And now, I've got ones that know all about how to make THM recipes and desserts and snacks, and everybody's obsessed with trying every single smoothie in the book and putting their own smiley face or downer face of whether who likes it and those things. And it's been fun. It's been a lot of fun.
so fun. Wow.
Mhm.
That is so good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's good. What would you say has been the most rewarding thing besides your children and all of that for you, just for you? What would you say has been the most rewarding part of this experience so far?
Ooh. I would definitely say the amount of time that I'm able to participate in everything. I think I came from 2.5 years of really sitting on the sidelines and thinking that physically my body couldn't handle it, or I was just worn out by the idea of whatever it was. And now to participate in, currently we're building these garden beds and being able to lift wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow of dirt and have these funny jokes with trying to turn over a wheelbarrow full of dirt, and my kids seeing that and they're like, "Go, mom, go." Like, it's just so amazing that I can do that. I always dreamt of being the mom that could participate and do those things. And I honestly, a couple years back, I would have never thought I could do that. And to know that I'm doing that and learning these tools, like I don't want to ever lose sight of those tools because that's really given me my life back.
Yeah. What is it that you love so much about THM?
The flexibility.
Wow.
The flexibility that I can truly have what I would like to have, and I need to just tweak a few things, but everything is doable.
Yeah.
That my family can do it with me. I'm not one that will ever make multiple meals, and to know that I can make a complete meal for all of us, and everybody's joining in and feeling satisfied, and that's really important. I didn't want to have this mentality of mom's going to have this and so and so is going to have that and so is going to have that. It just doesn't feel together. It doesn't feel like it's inclusive. And I don't want to participate in something like that.
Yeah. So is it safe to say that you signed up with me and you got more than you bargained for?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I say that to be a little silly.
But it's true. It's really true. I thought back to the whole, it's only just about food. It's not just about food. I'm so much more confident now.
Mm.
So much more confident now.
That word keeps coming up.
I know.
Coming up. So good.
It is so good. From everything to in my marriage and in my intimacy with my relationships with kids, I've got ones in teenage years and there are a lot of hard topics and I'm not afraid to talk hard, because I want them to know that just because it's hard doesn't mean you don't talk about it or you walk away or, any of those things. I want us to hit this space on. And I don't think I would have had that ability not knowing that I could do something hard.
Wow. That is so good. That's so good. I don't have my questions in front of me. Do you have notes on anything else you wanted to talk about?
No.
No.
I didn't make notes this time.
Oh, good. I'm impressed.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the Kiaora thing a little bit? You don't have to go into like super detail. Yeah. Okay.
Sure.
So everybody, I'm a partner with Kiaora's bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. And Alesha, just like I am, is using that to help because I kind of laid another bomb down on her that her
Ooh, that was when you're sassy. Yeah, you earned the title of sassy with me with
she was just
that one.
And I went, your ovaries are failing. And she went, what? Dear and
I did not like Amy.
And I was like, oh no, I done made her mad. I haven't made her mad yet. And I just made her mad. But we have a solution. I mean, I was like, but it's okay because we can fix it. And
please fix it.
It's working. We're working on it.
Yeah.
It's so
and that's another thing I couldn't turn back with that either. I think I really needed hand holding in that one.
Yeah.
That one was really difficult for me to hear. But being on that now about 3.5 months, noticed a lot of changes that I so desperately needed. And a lot of those were things that I didn't know could make a big difference.
Yeah.
But they definitely can.
Yes, they can.
Yeah.
Yes, they can. And with your Amy, it wasn't a stretch for me to say that. But with all of your symptoms and because of what I do all day, it was just like, oh, your ovaries are failing. Like, that's exactly what's happening. But that girl was like, what'd you say?
I thought that was a death sentence.
But it's not.
That was hard.
I know. And I'm not sorry about it, though. Because I knew that I was bringing you a solution. And so like that, I know most people, this is something that blows my mind, girl. Like, but do I have to take it forever? And I'm like, yeah, but your blood pressure medicine, you sure ain't worried about taking forever? Worried about the amount of ibuprofen you're going to take till the day you die? No. Oh my gosh. I get a little sassy about that. Yes, I will use bioidentical hormone replacement therapy. Now, if the zombie apocalypse happens and we're all just surviving, it'll just be, they probably need me to be crazy Amy to like save the valley or whatever. But because I'm crazy Amy without my hormones. But anyway, like that kind of blows my mind how people think like that. It's a great question. And I'm not saying it's a bad question, but I'm just like, yes, do it.
Yeah.
But it's more than just, I mean, it's very important to me to have the intimacy healing between Wes and myself because I don't have ovaries. They are non-existent. Yours just weren't doing a really good job. But like, if I don't have that, then my relationship with my husband is going to struggle and I'll be doggone if that's going to happen. Right. But there's so much more to it. It's protecting my heart, my brain, my bones, my skin. I get told all the time, I don't look 43. Are those your sisters? Like, those are my teenage children, and that is just such a blessing, but it's because I've done the work, and that's what you're doing. You are rekindling that in your life. And I think that
Yes.
is something that should be celebrated. That's so, so good.
And being open with them too, because, I've got a young one that's going through that right now, and I do want her to understand what is to come, but I don't want it to be the stereotypical, oh, she's gone crazy, or oh, it's that time. That's how I kind of learned about it being younger. And I
Yeah,
don't want that. I don't want this shift of changes happening and my kids not being able to recognize me
yeah,
or, know that my character is different.
right, right. Absolutely. That's so good. Well, girl, thank you so much for sharing
You're
your
welcome.
story. It
You're
is one
welcome.
of my favorites. And like I said, don't ever leave me. Okay. Stay with me forever.
Okay. Okay.
It's so, so good. You want to tell them bye?
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.